Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. Navigating the legal system can be stressful, overwhelming, and full of uncertainty. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. When you're in need of legal assistance, trust Liberty Law Group to fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Welcome to Takedown Tuesday with Husker Wrestling on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm your host, Ridge Lovett. With me today, new NWTC head coach, Robert Kokesh. But first, I'd like to tell you about our sponsor, Stevens & Smith Construction. Takedown Tuesday on 93.7 The Ticket is sponsored by Stevens & Smith Construction. Stevens & Smith Construction is an employee-owned company with nearly 250 employees with over 2,000 years of service combined. They lead the industry as a full-service concrete company specializing in residential, commercial foundations, and flat work. Stevens & Smith has locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Kansas City, and you can learn more today at stevensandsmith.com. If you got any comments or questions, you can be a part of the show by texting our Sartor Hammond Jewelers text line at 402-464-5685 or by leaving a comment on our Facebook, X, or YouTube stream. You can also call into the show at Honda of Lincoln Hotline at 402-464-5685. So, with me today, he's back, the man, the myth, the legend, Robert Kokesh. What's good, buddy?
Everything, man. It's been good. It's good to be back. You know, got the last couple days of training in, and you know, I'm gonna take some learning curves right away with that. But it's been really good. Excited to be back with the team. I think that's probably the most exciting thing for me is just getting to know the guys, the new guys, and the guys that had been on the team when I was coaching here a couple years ago, and you know, getting to be back to be with the staff that you know that I think is one of the best in the country. So, you know, it's just gonna be great with work with Coach Manning, Coach Lognev, Coach Schneider. And also, you know, Coach Green, who I've wrestled with throughout my entire college career as well. So it's going to be really, really fun to be back with those guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. So last season, we had our best season in school history as a team. From an outside perspective, was there anything different that you saw about last year's team compared to teams prior? Because, like, in the years that I've been here, we've been close to breaking through. We've had the talent to do it. We've had the guys on the team that we could really put together tournaments, but just never quite got over that hump, breaking into the team trophy finishes. Was there something different that you saw on last year's team?
You know, I think a big thing is belief. You know, coaches talk about it all the time. Oh, you got to see it and do it, and you got to believe in that. Like, once the guys, because the coaches can believe in that all the time they want, and once the guys actually believe, like, hey, you know, individually, you know, if you take care of the team, individually you're going to take care of yourself. If you put the team before yourself, a lot of the times you're going to get the job done. And I think the belief, within maybe the team, I could see, like, you know, just the camaraderie. You could see, like, Nebraska's always had I came here in 2010 as a recruit, and you know, we've always had really tight-knit teams. But, you know, it was kind of like, you know, you had your hit and miss with weight classes, you know, trying to fill those and trying to get points from certain weight classes. And I just felt like, you know, you guys believed in each other from top to bottom, like you guys could all put points up at every single weight class, which I think not so much as in the past, but I just feel like, I think you guys believed in each other, and if one guy had a bad match, the other guy's going to step up and put points up on the board for the next weight class moving forward.
Absolutely. So what does that look like? Is being you weren't with us last year. It was more watching on TV, make it to a couple duels, a couple events. Like what are you seeing that makes you this team is super tight?
Well, first off, it was hard missing last year, and the year before that, especially with the success. It's so much fun to be a part of that. But I just think, the way you guys, made it light feel, come up to a warm-up in practice, you guys were just having fun. You guys weren't making it more than what it was supposed to be. It's just wrestling, and I think that you guys just did a really, really good job of just, keeping your cool, going out there, doing your job and having fun, and bad goes to worse. You guys back each other up. You have a tough loss or a kid you we're supposed to beat, you don't get down on those guys. You got to pick them up because you know what? You got another match in maybe a day or two. If it's an NCAA tournament, everyone experiences hard losses, and if you can be able to pick your team up, I mean, that's what makes great teams. And I think that's what a lot of what I seen last year is when guys lost, guys were back on their corner, but hey, you're fine. You got another match. You got to do this. And when guys won, it was it gets you hyped up for that. And for me, it was I always wanted to be a part of that's one thing I always did with Coach Green, when I was wrestling with him, it's me and him almost I didn't want him to outdo me, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So we were always in our own world, we're kind of competing against each other, and I think that was always kind of a fun thing to fulfill there. And it's you can always try to do better than the other, and at the same time it's helping you out, but it's also helping your team out. So, and it's James been a good friend of mine for a long time, so. It's just, I think that's kind of what a lot I've seen on the outside is that, you guys stuck behind each other, win or lose. And, it's easy to get down on yourself individually when you have a tough loss. But that's why you got coaches and teammates there to back you up.
Me, Brock, and Trelly were kind of doing that this year.
Yeah.
Me and Brock with near fall points and hey, how many points did you score this match? And Trelly kind of slammed the door on us at the Campbell duel. And I don't even think the Trelly's match got televised. We started the duel outside. Matt was slippery, so Brock was out there slipping, falling down, and Kaler and Van D, they were all out there slipping, going all crazy, rolling around. But then I went inside and I texted my kid, or I pinned him. I was up by 17 and I pinned him in the first period. And I was kind of walking off. I looked at Charlie. I'm like, yeah, because that was I don't know if it was Claw or who was doing the belts, but they had an OW belt.
Yeah.
And Charlie went out there and literally pinned his kid in 10 seconds. I was sitting there talking to Weeda. Weeda was like, hey, make sure you get a cool down, get your stuff on. We're going to drive straight to UNC after Charlie's match. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I turn around and Charlie was getting his hand raised. Literally pinned his kid in 10 seconds. And it was like, oh yeah, I guess Charlie
gonna get it.
10 seconds is gonna be tough to beat. I know none of us even got close to 10. Couple in a minute, got to fall in a minute. I think on senior night I pinned my kid in 54 seconds, but that's not 10 seconds.
Yeah, that's not 10 seconds. 10
seconds.
seconds.
Underhook, body lock, and
back.
Just folded him. I was like, oh my gosh, this boy is crazy. But yeah, well, we're definitely excited to have you back. We missed you when you were gone. But what are you most looking forward to this year?
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm excited to get back with the team. I really look forward. It's kind of crazy once you kind of leave the sport, and wasn't as involved as I wanted to be back in my hometown where, at the high school I'd help out with a couple practices in here and there, but it's not like getting back on the mat and wrestling with 18, 19, 20-year-old guys that are they're chomping at the bit, and I like seeing that. I like seeing guys develop and get better and putting the work in that they're putting the work in and they're getting something out of it. And I think that's really, I'm excited about that. I'm excited to watch this team progress. Mm-hmm. I mean, Nebraska wrestling's only getting better, and I've seen that since 2010 when I was here. And it's just continually getting better. And what Coach Manning and staff have done over the last course of, how many years, it's just been really, really cool to watch. And especially since I've gotten here in 2010, being a part of this kind of, maybe not here the whole time, but been a part of it for, 15 years and getting to see this whole thing. And, you know, and it's just I'm excited to be back coaching again.
Yeah,
You know,
we're
I've missed
definitely excited to have you back. We definitely missed you when you were gone. But AJ Ferrari, what did you think when you first heard the news, saw the news?
So I actually jokingly was telling Weed after the NCAA tournament, I was like, hey, you know, AJ Ferrari, come on now. You know, at Camden still having a red shirt left and, you know, whatever, there's a lot of playroom there. So I was just kind of joking that way. And then when I heard the news, I was actually out in Utah doing a wrestling camp. With a former wrestler, with a former wrestler, Van Tassel. So
Van Tassel, baby.
Yeah. So and you know, it like right away, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, we're doing the camp, and people, yeah, Ferrari's coming to Nebraska. I'm like, what? Like, you know, I thought I'd have a little insight on this. You know, like someone hitting me up, being like, hey, Ferrari might come to Nebraska. You know, and I think it's super cool. You know, I think that, you know, he's a very dynamic character kid, and you know, I think he's gonna put points up. You know, at this point in our stage, especially in Nebraska, like, you know, you need to score points at the NCAA tournament. That's really what it comes down to, and he's going to do that, right? You know, I'm super excited about, you know, getting him in the program, getting him back with the team, and just possibly getting to work out with him. You know, kind of pick his brain too, because, you know, he's a very elite guy, and, you know, he does things a certain way, maybe different than others, and kind of, you know, just kind of be a, you know, try to be a fly on the wall and try to figure out, you know, how he does certain things and why he does them. So, you know, I'm just super excited to get him in the lineup, get him here at Nebraska, and start possibly working with him as well.
Yeah, because he was here a little bit earlier this summer. Like, he was on the show with DP on the one-on-one, and I got to talk to him one day up in the room. I've been gone doing camps, but I got to chat with him just a little bit, and, you know, he seems like a completely different person than he was when he was a freshman, right? He was a freshman. He just came into college, right? He's young. He's gonna do what college kids do.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's really moved the needle a lot off the mat, right? The on the mat stuff, he's still AJ Ferrari. He's still winning matches. He's doing his thing out there. He's got his splits, his little pose, like, right? He's doing his little celebrations. But off the mat, it seems like he's really moved the needle a lot, and I've been really impressed with that. Right? I hosted him on his visit here, and I was thinking, like, yeah, this kid's a little out there. Like, I don't know. But in the time that I've spent talking to him since then and seeing his interviews, seeing the way he was conducting himself in nationals and all that stuff, it seems like he's really kind of flipped the script on what the initial thoughts were about him. And I'm really excited to have him because I think that we have built a culture, Manning, coaching staff, the guys on the team, everybody's like really, truly bought in to what we have going on. And I feel like him joining us, one, I think we're going to be able to help him. We're going to be able to help him with the culture stuff, bring him into it, give him, like you were saying earlier, the camaraderie, that family feel, because I know he's a big family guy, God first guy, and that's two of the biggest things that we preach in Nebraska. And, you know, I think getting him around the guys on our team and our staff will do nothing but help elevate him even farther than what he's already done. And I think that the on-the-mat stuff he's going to take care of that on his own.
Yeah.
But
and I agree with that. You think about it, like, you know, I always look at, like, you know, we're a fun team.
mm-hmm.
You know, Nebraska is a fun team, right? Like, we're not like we're serious when we're training, but like it's not like we're just like, I want to beat this, I want to, you know, we go in there and we have a lot of fun. Like, everybody's joking around with everybody, and when you can wrestle free and loose like that, that's going to open you up a lot a bit. And like, I'm thinking with Ferrari, I think that'll really help him just kind of be like, hey, this is, you know, kind of reignite maybe a little bit of fire there too. And, you know, I mean, I remember coming as a freshman, you know, in college, and I mean, I wanted to leave after the first 6 months. You know, and you talk about, you know, coming in, you know, you're young, you don't really know what to expect,
mm-hmm.
and, you know, it's just hard to, you know, try to manage that with wrestling, school, training, lifting. Like, there's a lot going on all the time.
And you're doing all that without your parents.
Yes.
Your parents aren't here. It's like time to grow up. Now everything's on you. You handle all your business.
Yep.
Right. So, and you can see that every single year when the freshmen come in, that first 5 weeks in the summertime, right? Showing up a little late to lift. It's like, yep, try again tomorrow. Like,
yeah.
You got to be on time. You got to show up ready to go. And then you get up in the wrestling room. It's like, yeah, you were just the baddest dude in your high school room. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're doing live goes, groups of 4. All right, you're going to go with Antrell, Ridge, and Brock.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you went from tech following every kid on your team to now you're in a group with some of the baddest dudes in the country.
Absolutely.
Right? So as a freshman, you get to come in, you get to take your lumps, and then you also get to learn how to be a professional in the sport and really start, right? It kind of forces you to mature a little bit. You got to handle all your own business. You got to make sure you're getting to all your classes, getting all your work done. The nutrition stuff is huge. That was one of the biggest change-ups for me, was because when I was in high school, it was like I was eating whenever I wanted. It wasn't really my diet was whatever. I would go into the first period and I'd be like, hey, like, anybody got $1? Get $1. The next period, same thing, until I got $5. I'm like, yeah, Little Caesar's about to go crazy today, right? But being able to come here, and they do such a good job at the training table, really. And Ron's the GOAT.
No.
Do you hear he's cutting down to 84?
Who, Ron?
Ron.
Really?
Yeah. He wanted to
match up Silas?
Yeah, he's gonna cut down to Silas's weight, and because he's been going to the UFC Performance Institute, right? Going out there learning about weight cutting, how they do it, different things, like different strategies and stuff. He was like, I mean, you can do all the research that you want, you can learn everything that you can learn, but it's different when you actually do it, right? So he started dieting. He's getting his weight down. He's gonna, at our first weigh-in, he's gonna weigh in scratch at 84.
Maybe I need to do that too.
You should start with 97.
I should start with them, yeah.
Start with 97,
Oh,
then
man.
we'll make our way down. But right, so it's I think it's awesome that we have full buy-in from literally every aspect of our support staff at Nebraska, right? Manning and company, you guys are all right, business as usual. We're sticking to the game plan, same stuff. The guys on the team, right? The room, there was I don't even know how many kids were at practice today. 20 something?
Yeah, it's
20 of the 30 were in
crazy.
there. All right, it's still summertime. They don't have to be there. They can still be on their vacation. But we had 2/3 of the team were in there. And our nutritionist is working on cutting down 2 weight classes. Right? He went past 97. He's on his way down to 84. Just so that way he can, like, feel and experience it, and then also use his nutrition background to help us make changes and be like, hey, you know what, maybe try this, right? So I think it's awesome. It's literally the entire Nebraska wrestling staff as a whole, right? B. Bradley, our director of ops, was in the room wrestling today.
Yeah.
He was in the room wrestling yesterday. Last season, he was in the room wrestling every day. He's our director of ops, and he's on the mat wrestling with us. Then we got John Fife, our weights coach, up in the wrestling room watching practice, talking to us about it. What do we need? What should we taper back a little bit, right? And I think that's something that, I haven't been a part of another program, but I know that it's special. You can feel that it's special. I don't know how many programs in the country have a nutritionist, and if they do, is their nutritionist cutting weight?
Yeah.
Just to feel it and know what we're going through, just to
Yeah.
have that background information. So, I'm really excited for this year. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, and I mean, to be going back to like I said, when I came here in 2010, like we had to pay for our food at the training table.
Mm-hmm.
Like it come out of your scholarship check or you pay for it. And now, 10 years later, we're helping you guys out here.
Yep.
And I mean, that's for all athletes, not just scholarship athletes. That's walk-on athletes, everything. And it's so much. It's so crazy what Nebraska, like what they are trying to do here. And just to show how much the support they have for their teams and their staff. And it's just unbelievable.
That's what I'm saying. There's no place like it. And so Manning, Coach Swerve, right? They're in Pennsylvania right now, on the trail still. Bo Bassett, Melvin Miller, right? We've been talking about it for a few weeks now. Those guys are the biggest names in high school wrestling right now. Those two, along with PJ Duke and Marcus Blaze, who are both already signed going to Penn State next year, right? But Bassett, number 1 recruit in the class of 2026. Melvin Miller, number 1 recruit in the class of 2027. And Bo Bassett's little brother, Keegan, just won a U17 world title in Athens, Greece. So I DM'd him, told him good job. He was like, hey, thanks, brother. Like, he was a little fired up about it. And I watched some of his matches. I saw the clips on Instagram and stuff, and he was wrestling good too, right? And it's like those three, it's looking like those three are going to be a package deal, right? Wherever Bo goes, Melvin will probably follow, and then Keegan is probably going to come too, right? So landing these guys will be huge momentum for recruiting, but also you're just getting killers.
Yeah.
Right? They're tough. I got to watch them wrestle out at Fargo. I know that they went out to eat with Snyder and Tervel out there, and I'm if we can land them,
mean, it's a program changer, right? Like just the way we're going right now, trajectory. If you can just 1-2 guys, and then it just creates more traction.
Absolutely.
Right. So, I mean, they're program changers, and it's crazy because Coach Manning and Snyder and all of us have put so much time, recruited and so forth, and it's just, it's finally nice to see it paying off, especially as long as Coach Manning's been in this league. I mean, the guy's the oldest guy in the Big Ten, right? And it looks like he's out there and he's 45, still doing the same thing as he is when he's 60. It doesn't matter. My man just loves wrestling, and he's going to put everything into his guys, and just like we all were. So it's just kind of cool to see him finally get that payday this last year, especially getting second in the country, and it's pretty cool.
Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. And finally, that's been a big goal of mine the whole time that I was here. Obviously, trying to win Big Ten titles, win national titles, but there was one I always wanted a team trophy. It was like I want to get Manning a team trophy, right? Because he got one in
09 with Brester and Burroughs was hurt that year, but Brester, Stephen Dwyer, Brandon Brown, that was the year they got, I think, 4th.
Right? So, but now we got the second place one, right? There's only one more notch to climb up, right? And it's a big hill to climb. And the guys that we were just talking about, those 3 recruits, landing them is, I think, would be a great first step into climbing up that hump, into breaking through, really challenging Penn State, pushing them to win another national title, right? Because we were talking about it a couple weeks ago. The dynasty run that they've been on, is only competition is the UCLA team when they won 11, 12, 13 in a row or whatever it is, right? They've won, I think this is their 3rd three-peat with the loss to Iowa and the loss to Ohio State in 2016. 15?
Yeah. It's my senior year.
But, right, so it's like, we're right there.
Yeah.
We're right there. It seems like we're next up to be the ones to really push through, break through. And the things that we're doing in Nebraska, it's all leading us to that finish, right? The coaching staff, bringing on you, bringing on James, bringing in Tervel, right? We're making the changes that we need to really supplement the wrestlers that we have. And then there really is no place like Nebraska. I talk about it every single week when we're on here, the stuff that they do for us and the way that the things that they do to allow us to succeed, whether it's in academics, the nutrition stuff, weight training. And then we have the best trainer in the game with Weeda.
You can't find any better.
You can't find any better.
Can't.
Man, I can't talk about Weeda enough. Weeda is the GOAT. Ron the GOAT, Weeda's the GOAT. Like, for real. And he might be the toughest dude I've ever met.
I mean, the guy does the same thing over and over 7 days a week. Like it's just natural. I mean, up at 6 in the morning and running before I gets done with his workout before I'm even up. So, it's crazy how a guy like that can just continue to keep that persistence, and doing the 5-day fast. I do a 3-day fast and I feel like I'm going to die.
And I'm angry.
And he does
the world.
5-day fast and still continues to do his workouts. Nothing changes in his lifestyle. So.
Yep, and then shows up every day ready to work, anything we need.
Wow.
And go talk to Weeda. He's on top of it, right? The support staff that we have is unbelievable. And for me, like, when I'm talking to kids at different tournaments, when they're like, hey, like, so why should I go to Nebraska? And I tell them, like, first of all, there's no place like Nebraska. The buy-in that we have from the team, the buy-in we have from the coaches, and the staff and the community as a whole, right? Because I was talking about it a couple weeks ago. I'm from North Idaho. There's no major universities, right? Boise State, I stopped being a Boise State fan when they cut their wrestling program. I was like, yeah, bagged on them, no more. Right, so Oregon State was pretty close. UVU was kind of close. No teams in Washington. So it was like I had never really been a big college sports fan. Until I got into high school, I started watching it a little bit. And then I came to Nebraska, and it was like, I wouldn't say it's a rude awakening. It was more of a happy one. It was like, these people love it. They love Nebraska athletics. And, I mean, you've been around for a while. So
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy, like, coming through high school. Like, I didn't even know I wanted to wrestle in high school until I was a junior or in college. Like, I'm from Wagner, South Dakota, small town. It's like, where is that? And we have, SDSU there, USD. They don't have wrestling. So, like, coming through, like, the ranks, and when I got second in Fargo after a junior, that's when things really started to pick up. And, get to Nebraska, and it's just like, to me it was like, wow. Biggest city, like Omaha is more people in Omaha than the entire state of South Dakota. Yeah. So like, coming to a city like Lincoln, around 300, a little over 300,000. I mean, that's like two of the biggest cities in South Dakota combined. And it was just like very eye-opening for me personally, because I'm like, man, this is huge, But then, you start to get with the team. Like, if you didn't have the team, like, it would be really hard. Like, I don't know how it's like some students just come here and go to school and just to find those friends and like try to get, like, it'd be hard, especially if you're not an outgoing person. But, that's one thing with the team. The team always, you're able to create those friendships and, it kind of gives you a little boost. But yeah, it's like earlier, like I struggled for the first 6 months. I want to be like, peace, so go back home or do something. I don't know. Cause I was homesick, and it's just actually a good friend of mine, John Swoboda, is the one that kept me in. He's like, hey, you can do this. And, he was a walk-on, I think he stepped on the varsity mat once or twice in his career. And, he's the guy that really kept me in it, and it's kind of crazy for, a walk-on. And you got me, the spoiled brat, pretty much, being like, hey, what are you complaining about? I'm doing the same work as you, and he's keeping my mind right. And he was a walk-on kid that, that I'll be always indebted to him because of that. I mean, I don't know where I'd be. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here with you right now, I'll tell you that. But so it's just wild how your career shakes out. So
that's what I'm saying. Well, we'll get right back to it. More Takedown Tuesday coming up next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Become part of the Landmark difference today. Landmark Implement, your John Deere dealer, is currently hiring in our parts departments. As a member of our team, you'll assist customers in finding the right parts for their equipment, manage inventory, and collaborate with sales and service. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you at our dealership. Apply today and grow your career with Landmark Implement, where your skills make a difference in the ag community every day. See full details online at landmark.careers.
IT issues wreaking havoc on your day? It's time to hire the experts. It's time to hire Hamilton. When it comes to your business, you don't have time to worry about network security, data backup, and protection, or support when devices slow down or stop working. At Hamilton, we ensure that your technology is up to speed and works as hard as you do. Don't let IT issues slow you down. You deserve better. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial or residential to agricultural storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to MWRbuildingandfence.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $25.60 per hour, which grows to $30.12 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $34.51 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates with increased bonuses and vacations for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Are you tired of the same old entertainment options? How about something that's truly fun for both kids and adults? Nebraska Knockerball, the new place to go for your private and corporate parties. Step inside one of their inflatable spears and let out stress in a healthy form of exercise. Or try the human foosball, foot darts, yard pong, giant beer pong, basketball Connect 4, and much more. Nebraska Knockerball, specializing in physical, engaging fun. Call Nebraska Knockerball today at 402-460-8724 to learn more or book a reservation now.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you ready to join a family-owned local company that values innovation, integrity, and excellence? Look no further than Lincoln Industries. They're hiring for first and third shift production roles, as well as multiple engineering and sales positions. Whether you're an engineer ready to design groundbreaking solutions or a sales professional eager to connect with clients, they've got a place for you. Come join their family. Visit www.lincolnindustries.com for more information.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
The 2024 Nebraska football season is here, and we need you to be a part of the Sea of Red Memorial Stadium this fall. A limited number of Husker football single-game tickets are on sale now and are only available while supplies last. Don't miss out on any of the action this season by getting yours before it's too late. To purchase your Husker football single-game tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Welcome back to Takedown Tuesday on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm your host, Ridge Lovett. With me today, Robert Kokesh, the man, the myth, the legend, Big Bobby. What's up?
What's up, Ridge?
Man, so with the recruiting stuff, right, we were talking a little bit about that. What would be your sales pitch to a recruit that we're trying to get?
I mean, I think the biggest thing is, like, you know, what aspects and, you know, what do they want, right? So, like, you know, I think for some kids, you know, I think, you know, religion is, you know, being, you know, a believer in Christ is huge. Some people, it's, you know, your facilities. Some is how much money am I going to get, you know? And I think you kind of got to balance that with the kid that you're, I guess you're recruiting. You know, for me, it was like, the money was nice, but, like, I wanted to go somewhere, a place where I'd fit in. And, you know, for me, like, I went on one unofficial visit throughout all my recruiting process. I went on 0 official visits, 1 unofficial visit to Nebraska, and I came here. And I just seen right away I didn't want to waste nobody else's time. But I think for me, like, you know, I wanted to somewhere where I was going to fit in. You know, did I mesh with the coaches well? And I think that's why it's really important for coaches when they go into in-home visits to have that personal connection right away. You know, because if you don't have that, it's going to be hard seeing yourself go there. And I just think it's really important to, like, be open with them. You know, tell them, like, hey, this is why we want you. You know, and you know, sometimes it's, you know, you don't feel like you can be a national champ or a starter right out of the gate. Sometimes it takes years to develop some guys, even though, like, that's okay. So, I think a big part of it is just making sure you connect and mesh with not just the athletes but the parents as well, because essentially you're recruiting both of them, right? So I think it's like your story with John Smith and Jordan Burroughs. I think that's really cool, right? It's kind of that same dynamic. When I'm sure when Coach Smith and Coach Manning sat down at your table, you're like, Jordan Burroughs, John Smith, but
two of the best American wrestlers to ever do it.
Yeah, so it's like some people want to follow that legacy of like, go to Penn State, right? Cale Sanderson, only undefeated. Some people have that initiative. That's where I want to go because he's Cale Sanderson. That's just it just depends what kid you're trying to recruit. But I think the most important thing is trying to connect with them. Let them know like, hey, you're going to be taken care of. Let their parents know like, hey, we're gonna do well by them when they're here, and just trying to mesh with them and get them to buy into what you're trying to preach as well.
Absolutely. And see, having Manning go on the home visits makes that part so easy. Because if you've ever talked to Coach Manning, he's super personable. He's super easy to like, right? And he gets along with everybody. Even other coaches that I'm not particularly a fan of, right? We go over to Coach Manning's house for dinner, and he's got Christmas cards from him.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought we didn't like these guys. Like, oh, well, we're friends. We've been friends for a long time. It's like, yeah, see, and having someone like that running the ship, right, it makes everything that you said super easy to accomplish. Like when Manning came on my home visit, he actually came to my school first, and they just let him in. He went up and started talking to the ladies at the front desk and told them who he was, and they're like, yeah, okay.
Go on in. And
then he called me, and I was TAing for our head coach in his history class, 7th period, and he called me, and I was like, hey, what's up, coach? And he was like, oh, yeah, I'm walking around the school. Where you at? And I was like, in class. What you mean, man?
What you mean?
Ran around the school a little bit, found him, and he just walked right up in the class with me. And we were just sitting in the back while the head coach was teaching. He was like, yeah, my coach was like, this is crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Right? But having somebody like that, it just makes like that personal connection thing. Manning's so good.
Oh,
he's so good.
Well, he always told me knowing people is like just connections. Mm-hmm. Knowing people is like the most important thing. Like you could put him in any setting and he could be able to talk to anyone.
Absolutely.
And I feel like and he'd probably come out and they'd probably swap numbers and they'd probably see each other and whatever. It's just crazy how he can just talk to anyone. He makes everyone feel welcome, and and at the same thing he's got a super amount of energy. Mm-hmm. Right? Like I said, like
he's drinking all those Celsius and
I know.
espressos.
Yeah, I know, right? But it's just crazy because when I got here in 2010 to like now, it's like his energy has not changed. Mm-hmm. He's got the same amount of love for what he does.
Yeah, I say it all the time that I've never been to a practice that I thought that Manning didn't want to be there.
Yep.
Every single practice we walked in, right? Some days it's going to be a heater. You walk in and Coach Manning's got a Celsius sitting in the cup holder on the bike, and he's over there on the Aerodyne. 20 minutes before practice, he's warming up. And he gets down, he starts banging out push-ups. Like, oh yeah, today's going to be a
good
heater.
one.
Oh boy, I'm looking around. I'm like, I need Greasy or Brock today. Come on, I need someone. But yeah, so what we were talking about earlier with the belief stuff, right? How do you get somebody, especially like in a star-studded lineup like we had this year, right? Where if there was a wrestling draft, the majority of our team, they're first, second rounders.
Yep.
Right? Lottery picks, right? With if you have someone who's taking lumps, kind of falling behind a little bit, and not saying that they're not bought in, how do you go about getting that person to bring them up to the level that, that 5-star level?
So I think the biggest thing is, first off, they got to have belief within themselves, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, and that gets knocked down, like, hard losses. Maybe they're not doing as well as the other guys on the team, right? I know, like, a lot of times the best way to build confidence is in your wrestling, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you go to an open tournament. I remember guys sending, Coach Manning would send, starters to open tournaments during the season to be like, hey, win some matches, get yourself back up, kind of work on kind of more or less go through this tournament, kind of get some wins under your belt, and it kind of gets you over. I just kind of like remember with Peyton Robb, right? I think he lost a stretch of like 3 or 4 matches. I think he lost to the dude from Northwestern, not Northwestern. It was Joey Blaze.
Yep.
He wrestled like 3-4 like good wrestler studs in a row.
Top 10 ranked guys,
yes.
But it's guys that Peyton Robb shouldn't
lose to. And like, how do you like even a guy, a veteran like Peyton Robb, trying to come up from that? And you know what that takes? It takes your team. Like he can't. It's hard to do that on your own. You know, you can, but like it's very hard. You need your staff and your team there for you, and that's what's going to pick you up. Maybe some rest. You know, it just depends where you're at. I mean, you know, for me, like I've taken some beatings, especially earlier in my career. You know, but I was so hard-headed, it's like I ain't gonna let that dude beat me again. You know, that's why I started developing different types like short set. You know, like probably not the most popular move in wrestling to this day, but like I had to do something because I was terrible at legs. And I got beat up by a dude from Iowa 17-2 in the Big Ten semifinals one year. I'm like, I got to change something. And of course, I was down on myself, but I was so bull-headed. I was like, I'm not going to let that happen again. So I think it just kind of what you know, with the kids that you recruit, kind of knowing like where they're at. You know, everybody's got to be catered differently. You know, for a guy like me, like you push them as hard as they want, they're going to persevere. Other guys you can't do that with, or you're going to continue to put them in the ground. And I think sometimes that's rest, sometimes that's send them to an open tournament, sometimes that's, you know, give them a break. You know, like you got to do what you got to do. Like sometimes it's taking a day off of practice. Hey, don't come in today. You know, or maybe it's not wrestling this weekend. You know, so you know that's crazy. Like I missed one college match in my entire wrestling career. Like, you know, which is like the thing is we used to wrestle a lot of matches. It's not like today.
Yeah.
I mean, I had 40 plus matches every single year in my career. It's wild. You know, like go back to like Tolly Thompson. You know, like we were talking, I was like, you know, like today I was asking guys who do you has the most, you know, wins in Nebraska wrestling history? Well, Tolly Thompson has like 159 wins. You know, and like I would have to go undefeated. You know, which would have been crazy, right? I would have to go undefeated to even get close to that. And just like you guys, like it'd be hard for anyone to reach where I'm at. So.
Well, I don't know. You were 144 and 15.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good record.
That's a pretty good record,
that's
but like that's the same saying. Like most guys are going to have a hard time breaking the 100 win club now.
I just finished mine with 101 wins.
Yes.
My semifinals in nationals was number 100.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what the official number was until after the tournament when they posted it, or I got on Instagram the night after the semis and like I got tagged in something. And they were like, oh yeah, win number 100. I was like, see, I didn't even think I was gonna make it.
See, I got that at my junior year in the finals wrestling when I won my first Big Ten championship. My 100th win my junior year in the Big Ten finals.
Yeah, it took me a whole nother year.
That's a whole nother year.
Well, and I had the free COVID.
And you had the free COVID year.
So it took me 5 years to get to 100 wins.
Yeah, it's just don't wrestle as much anymore. And I think it's a good thing. I really do. I think we look at it a lot. You know, we've talked about like, you know, back when I was coaching a couple years ago, it's like, you know, going to Vegas. Vegas has always been a pretty stout tournament. And you kind of go up there, you beat yourself up a little bit. It seems like after that week or two after trying to, it just feels like you kind of beat yourself up a little too much.
You can kind of see it like across the country. Like after the Vegas tournament, a bunch of kids miss
Absolutely.
time. A bunch of kids miss time because it's like a
mini
NCAA tournament.
Yes.
At the beginning of the season.
Yep.
Right. So it's like a lot of times your because you condition your body throughout the season where you're ready for that workload. You're ready for the strain that you're going to put on your body, but Vegas is pretty early in the season. That's everybody's like, you might have a couple tough matches in duels at that point, but conference hasn't started yet.
You're a month in.
You're a month in, and it's like, here you go fight with the Wolves.
Yeah, I mean, go wrestle 3 of the top 10 kids in the country right away.
Exactly.
You know, and they could give you benefits because a lot of those kids you don't see everywhere, right? So you might beat a kid really good there, and it's going to help your seat at maybe at NCAA's, but it can also do the opposite too. And, you know, we wrestle a tough enough schedule in the Big Ten. Like, it's like, you know, you don't really need, you really don't need it because we're already going to be wrestling these guys, and them guys are going to might meet up with that guy down the road and beat them, and you beat that guy in the Big Ten.
Yep.
So, you know, but I think it's good. I think national duels is super cool.
I'm stoked for it.
I can't wait.
National duels is going to be insane. I'm so ready for it. National duels, November 15th and 16th in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the BOK Center. Same place that they had NCAAs 2 years ago. 2 years ago? I guess.
Yeah, it was 2 years. Peyton Robb.
Yep.
When he had the leg.
After he came back from that, yeah.
Can never forget that.
Yeah, but that 16-team single elimination bracket, the top 12 from the previous nationals will go, and the other 4 teams will be drawn in from a lottery, $1 million prize pool.
It's crazy.
It's insane. There's never been anything like this, and I think
not for wrestling anyway.
Not for wrestling.
But
I'm so excited for it. That's going to be one that I'm for sure going to travel down there for. I can't wait. And then we have Oklahoma State. I got the schedule right here. Oklahoma State is
like second week in December, third week in
Third
December.
week, December 21st. Yep. Right. So middle of November, then we got a month and a half, and then we get Oklahoma State at home. And we've been talking about that one, had it circled on the calendar, right? Oklahoma State. David Taylor took over last year, had a good first year, right? He's landing a lot of big-time recruits, getting a lot of good transfers, right? And Oklahoma State's kind of coming back to where they were when they were a powerhouse.
Yeah.
They never really left, but they had some down years for Oklahoma State, right? They were kind of going through the same thing that we were going through as a football team, just not they weren't struggling quite as bad as we were, right? They didn't fall off that much, but they weren't in that trophy consideration.
Yeah.
Right? They weren't where they were supposed to be, where they were as a wrestling blue blood, right? But Oklahoma State's back.
They're tough. I mean, you got to understand, like, you know, all the guys that, you know, he's got the connection with with Penn State, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them guys, you know, like in my opinion, like Penn State's they're a dog-eat-dog. Like that's kind of the way they run their program. So like, you know, they're going to bring in Rocco Welsh over Ryder. You know, that's crazy to me.
That is crazy.
It's crazy, right? I mean, of course, Rocco Welsh is proven. Like, you know, he's a national finalist, got second, right? So like, and you know, I think he lost to Starachi in the finals, and it was tight. It was a 3-1 match, couple point match, right? So, you know, like a guy going there, I mean, they're going to pull a lot of them guys out of, I mean, in my sense, out of Penn State. So, you know, look at Facundo, like Facundo stuff.
Facundo
you know,
tough.
I mean, they got a lot of guys. You know, they got Richie Figs, I think, at
Oklahoma
State now, 33. So they're pulling a lot of guys in. They're going to be tough, but you know, what's pretty cool for us is like we're bringing, you know, essentially 7 All-Americans back, right? I mean, you know, we lose Caleb Smith, and hard to replace, right? Hard to replace All-Americans, hard to replace NCAA champions, right? But, you know, you got to do the best you can. You know, coming with Chance Lamer at 49, super excited. Helped recruit Chance Lamer here to Nebraska.
And I hosted him.
And you hosted
the
him.
First time I saw him when I was back there, I was like, it's about time,
it's about
bro.
time, right?
I was like, you were my first recruit, and I started 0-1 because you wanted to go to Michigan. Like, come on, buddy.
Yep.
What are you doing? Then he left and went to Cal Poly. You should have just came here. Granted, it would have been tough spots to break into the lineup in that 41, 49, 57.
Era. So
right?
that's coming back to, like, when you recruit kids, right? What is our plan? Like, going back to the recruiting part, like, what does your plan look like for me? You know, some people don't want to sit a year or two before they can possibly get in the lineup, you know, and it's just, it's crazy because, you know, Chance, like you said, it had been hard for him to make the lineup here with you and Brock at 140, 149.
And then he's a round of 16, blood round, 3-time national qualifier. It's like, I do kind of get it because he went somewhere else and he was finding success.
Yeah.
He was giving himself the opportunity, and now big door opens with me leaving. It's like, hey, 49, like you can come in and compete for the spot.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that he's a great pickup. We'll get more into transfers right after this. More Takedown Tuesday coming up next on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Have an anniversary coming up? I've got you covered. Celebrate your love with the timeless elegance of jewelry. This anniversary, give the gift of sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or gold. Find the perfect piece that reflects the beauty and depth of your commitment. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 50th, surprise your loved one with a gem as beautiful and rare as she is. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers, and if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
I'm softball player Jordy Ball, and I'm proud of my Nebraska roots, and I'm proud to be back home. And at Midwest Bank, they're proud to be your local community bank. They believe in family first, taking initiative, showing integrity, and rolling up their sleeves to support their local communities. They treat everyone like family, no matter where you're from. Whether you walk into a branch in York, Lincoln, Norfolk, or Pierce, you know you're going to be welcomed with a smile. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Explain to me again why we're... Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Are you ready to join a family-owned local company that values innovation, integrity, and excellence? Look no further than Lincoln Industries. They're hiring for first and third shift production roles, as well as multiple engineering and sales positions. Whether you're an engineer ready to design groundbreaking solutions or a sales professional eager to connect with clients, they've got a place for you. Come join their family. Visit www.lincolnindustries.com for more information.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family night? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement.
Strike three, you're out!
Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Welcome back to Takedown Tuesday on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm your host, Ridge Lovett. With me today, Bobby Kokesh. The boy's back, and we're so excited to have him. So we were just talking a little bit about national duels, and so you were away the last couple years, but now you're back, and we were just talking about bringing in Chance Lammer, Caleb Smith at 25. We got two super tough kids who have an opportunity to step in at 25. And 25 is always one of my favorite weights, because you can have a superstar come in, but with the way that 25 has been in the past, like minus Spencer Lee, you have no idea what's going to happen. Anybody can win. Anybody can go 0-2. It's just a crazy weight. Why do you think that is?
I mean, I just think because, you're young, 125 pounds is pretty small for, a person. I just think sometimes people grow out of the weight class. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know why that weight class seems like it's always so wide open. Like this last year, I mean, any one of those guys. I mean, Troy Splatt was in the finals with the guy who went away from Vince Robinson from MC State, right?
Man, shout out my boy Vino 10K. That's my boy.
So it's like crazy. Like you would, in my opinion, you would have never expected them guys to be it. But that's just the way it is. That's the way the national tournament is, right? And so it's pretty cool. I don't know. It's just cool. It makes it, for competitive wise, it makes it a lot of fun as a fan, because it's like, especially when you do all these draft polls, and like, who you're going to pick, and it can make or break a bracket.
Because that, like, if you put that up against like 184, it was a 2-horse race.
Yeah.
Right? Strachey, Keckeisen, who you got.
Yeah.
Right? And then they pick the kid going for his 5th, or you're going to pick the defending national champ at the
And then you got McAnally, who almost beat Keckeisen, which was that was crazy. I didn't think it was going to be that. He's very tough.
I didn't know who he was until he wrestled Silas at Lincoln.
Yeah.
Then after that match, I was like, who is this kid? Right? Because Silas Allred is a monster.
Yeah. Like
nobody does to him what McNally did.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was like, who's this kid?
I thought the same thing.
And he almost beat Strachey at Big Tens. Lost that one in overtime. He had Keckeisen all but beat at Nationals. Right? But then at 25, it's like you have no idea. Yeah. You have no idea who's going to win.
No.
And that for me, I think it's so awesome. I think a big part of it is that freshmen can come in and immediately be competitive. Right? There's not a huge strength gap there, except like with the Spencer Lees, the Tomasellos, those guys who are going to be career 25ers.
Yeah.
Who they're fully developed. They're just small.
They're just smaller.
But then you have the young bucks coming in with the other kids who maybe they're pulling a little bit of weight to get down there. They're not going to be a career 25er. And I think that we have 2 career 25ers with Kaler and Lordson.
Mm-hmm.
And those two, I watch them scrap in the room all the time. And 25 is going to be in good hands. Now that Caleb's gone, 2-time All-American for us, and whichever one of those 2 guys wins that spot, I think that we're going to be in pretty good shape. And then with Lamer coming in at 49, in the past few years, we've had really good results with our transfers.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think makes that happen? That we can get guys who were close at other tournaments or at other programs, close at the national tournament, just couldn't quite break through. What is it about Nebraska that when they get here, they're able to make that jump and hit the podium and accomplish those goals?
So I would think that most like other programs, they create a good foundation, right? So like I go back to a kid I wrestled with, Eric Montoya, a couple all-time All-American, transferred from Campbell, right? So, he was a 2-time All-American. He was a stud, and he transferred here. Caleb Smith comes from Appalachian State, All-Americans the next 2 years. I just think, to be honest, I think it's just a big part of mentality, something different. Maybe that, like, a lot of people transfer because they feel maybe it seems like it's stagnant or like they feel like they're not going anywhere, and they go somewhere new and they have this revigoration for the sport. They're willing to put whatever it takes to win again. Where sometimes, and it's good and bad both ways, right? Like I don't like anyone seeing my boy Big Len leaving Nebraska. That was hard on me. I mean, very tight with Big Len when I was back here coaching, wrestled with him a lot. But maybe
he was just at my house 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But like. Same thing. Like, you hate to see those guys go, but, always wishing the best for Big Len.
Absolutely.
And, he's one of the kids that I was really hoping could
get above that
get
hump.
over the hump.
Yeah.
But, hopefully transferring him for him was the best choice.
Yeah.
But I completely agree with what you're saying, right? Like, with a guy like Caleb Smith who's so bought in and gives his all into everything that he does, those are the people that you're looking for in transfers.
Yeah.
But, I think that Nebraska wrestling is in a great spot with where we're at, and I'm super excited for the year.
And you look at with the transfer. Or what I was going to say. Had a thought in my mind. I lost it.
Shoot, it's all good. Well, thank you guys. That was Takedown Tuesday with Ridge Lovett. Have Bobby Kokesh on today. Appreciate you coming out.
Absolutely,
man. Keep your eyes out for Husker wrestling. More up next on 93.7 The Ticket.